Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're in a slightly different position. How are you all doing today? Let me move this over a little bit so that you're a bit more in angle with my microphone. How do we sound? How are we doing? You know, I really like you guys being over here, but chat's not over here. And that's problematic, because then I have to keep looking over here, which is a little bit awkward. Can I? It's fine. It's fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's...
That stop music is very loud.
Oh, shit. Whoop, let's just bring that down.
Yeah, bring it down so it's peaking at negative 35.
Okay. Okay, got it. There we go. Hopefully that will be better. Sorry for having the desktop music so loud. My bad. I was rocking out earlier. Clearly I didn't adjust things. Hello, everybody in chat. It is lovely to see you all. Are you guys ready for the Warhammer preview? Are you excited to find out what we're getting from the illustrious Games Workshop and how they might, you know, run out of products for us again soon? Sorry, I know I'm throwing shade, like, immediately. Evening, everybody. Hello to Havman and James and Dirk and Gavin and Charlie and Red Barn Games and David and Toy Painter 1. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? I'm excited. I'm a little tired, I will admit. I think it's also partially because I've had my eyelashes on like all day. And so now my eyes are just really heavy. They want to close. It's also late. It's like 8:30 here for me. I know for some of you, it might be super early in the morning. And so you might be, Angela, I'm tired too, but for a different reason. But at least you can get like a coffee or a tea or like, if you want to be bold, like I would, just grab yourself a soda and caffeinate yourself. But I don't want to do that because I'm going to go to sleep here in like probably an hour, 2 hours or so after the stream. My eyes are watering so badly. Hold on. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's like, I was talking about how they were being tired and they were like, we're going to dry out right now and just murder you. Okay. I think it's also because I have like a lot of very bright lights on in here. Anyways. I'm doing all right, Alex. I'm doing all right, honestly. How are you guys doing? Are you guys doing all right? You think a new Ezekiel model might be incoming? I mean, possibly. That would be really cool. Seeing some more Dark Angels would make sense. I think we might see something other than Dark Angels, though. Like, I'm expecting to see possibly whatever's coming out after the Dark Angel Codex. Since they've already announced that they've announced a box set, I don't actually know, like, how much more of that we're going to be getting, but who knows? There are plenty of characters still. There are still other units that could be revamped, done up some really nice stuff, so... Keith, it's 11:30, like, p.m. for you? That is unfortunate. You know, it's actually, I'm going to take my, my hoodie off, even though it's super amazing. Like, can we just all appreciate the Powerpuff Girls and their villains? Rowdy Rough Boys, him, Medusa, they're amazing. But I'm actually warm in here because of all the lights. So I'm just going to take this off. Because it's too hot. It's too hot with all these lights on me. Let's also put this somewhere where my cat, yes, you that ran out just now, doesn't pee on it because she will try. She really likes to do that. She really likes to do that. All right. Yes, we're gonna get more lieutenants, everybody. That's, you know, that's guaranteed. It is Games Workshop. We are talking about Warhammer 40k. The likelihood of us getting some lieutenants is very high. Oh my god, a new Phoenix Lord would be epic. I would love to just see Eldar in general. Like, could we please get an announcement of some Eldar? My Chaos Cultist has been painting up and working on his, well, it wasn't his original Eldar army, but I talked about this a little bit on stream previously while I was working on my Tyranids, but we had previously bought, an old third or fourth edition, I think, Eldar army from a friend of his. She was selling it. She didn't want it anymore. It had a lot of metal and both resin miniatures in it. And he's been picking out the ones that we don't have to clean up too much paint on. And a lot of those happen to be some of the metal ones, which is great because his OG Eldar army, like the very first army he started with in Warhammer, was these metal miniatures. But he had sold that to be able to buy his dark elves for Warhammer Fantasy Battles back in the day. So exchanged those for some dark elves, and doesn't have access to that old army anymore. So this is basically us being able to bring that in. Yes, I love what you've done on this Banshee. She looks amazing. Flip it around, yeah, to the hair, because, like, she looks so good. But, yeah, all metal miniature, looks fantastic, absolutely loving it. I do think I'm going to move you guys. I apologize, but I want to be able to look at chat a little bit easier and not be looking back and forth so much. So I am going to scoot you all over here. There we go. And then I'm going to slide here. Perfect. We're going to scoot that there. Now I can still see the preview and I can talk to you guys better. That's very cool. Yeah, dude, it's so awesome, and I've been loving seeing him work on this army because it's just, I don't know, it's been really nice. It's something that he just decided, hey, I want to do this, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, get to it. I love it. And so he's been working on it. They've been coming out fantastic. Like, I have to admit, he's been doing some, like, edge highlighting, which is not something that, like, we normally do, but we're trying to push ourselves this year, and I just really love seeing it. Yep. I have my Razer kitty ear headphones because I am a massive dork. God, my glasses are like super dirty. Oh, thank God I have a cleaning cloth here. Oh, you're finishing a Demon Prince fuzzball? Sorry. Wait, are you like saying fuzz and ball as in like ball from like the planet that the Blood Angels are from? That's great. Oh yeah, we might see a new Dark Angels Combat Patrol. That's very true, because we have the new box set. I think we're going to see that after the big fancy box set comes out. Oh my God, Gavin, I just saw that you said it was 4:30 a.m. for you. You're in the UK, aren't you? You have to be. I'm so sorry. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what we get from Underworlds. I feel like the sculpts from Underworlds are generally pretty fun, and I think we're on with their little mini sets, you know, that they do, the little blisters that they release. So I'm excited to see what new factions might be represented in that. If we get to see more than one, if it's just one, what kind of cute animal might we see? Because they always have some sort of cute animal these days, I swear. Like there was the crab. You know, that blew everybody's mind, I think, on like a year or two ago's LVO. So, you know, I expect we might see another adorable animal, and or we'll be disappointed by the lack thereof of said adorable animal. I mean, I'm not a Games Workshop loyalist at all. I play plenty of other war games. I have Flames of War, which I'm getting started into. I've played not Warhammer, Star Wars Shatterpoint. I've played Star Wars Legion. I mean, I've played also plenty of Games Workshop games, but I definitely would not call myself a GW loyalist. I definitely buy and support other games, even if I don't play them. Like, I own Infinity models. I own Semantic models for their war games and stuff. So yeah, definitely not a loyalist. But in regards to Grimdark Future by One Page Rules, I mean, I have no.
You play BattleTech.
Oh, I also play BattleTech. That's true. Yeah, I also play BattleTech. Have been actively playing that recently. So yeah, definitely not exclusive to Games Workshop products. I have been cleaning my glasses for like 5 minutes. I'm sorry. But I have never tried One Page Rules before. I've seen plenty of good things about it. It's really just a matter of time, honestly. And one-page rules, from my understanding, you just pick up whatever miniatures that you want to, and while that's very cool, I actually do enjoy having a specific thing to get, and I do think they have stuff, but a lot of it is 3D printed, and I don't have a 3D printer yet. Once I get a 3D printer, which is something that I'm looking to get into this year, I do want to look into some of these games that are supported more by STLs rather than, you know, the mainstream stuff. But right now, no problem. I mean, October Wraith, I can see a little bit without them on, but I am nearsighted, so I can't, the further away things start to get, the less I can see them. I am not, like, super nearsighted, though. I can, like, with my glasses off right now, I can still read chat, but it's all blurry. But I can still make out the letters. I really like Battletech, I will admit. I have tried a couple different variations of it. I have tried both the classic version, which I really enjoy, although I haven't gotten into super in-depth with it because I've been doing some learning games. Unfortunately, I would go to my local Battletech meetups, but where they happen is about an hour away on a good day, like on if there's no traffic. And it's just it's a long distance and a lot of gas, and I haven't committed to doing it. But I really did enjoy when I was going and playing Battletech at this group. And they were teaching me how to play the game. I was playing a couple of learning games. I really do want to get back to it. I'm hoping that maybe, like, I don't know, maybe starting in, like, the next couple of months, maybe I can get back into it or so, but I don't really know if I'll have time. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But I also tried not just the classic version, but I believe it's the Alpha Strike. Is that what it's called? Whatever, the one that plays a little bit more like Warhammer, but still isn't, like, exactly like it. What I really like about Battletech, from what I have experienced of it, is, one, I love how much facing matters. That's been really fun because I got to stab some people in the butt, and that was great. And then I also just really like the damage distribution. I haven't gotten super in-depth with the classic version of how exactly that works and where, like, really things start becoming problematic. I think I've done, like, one game where we started doing the check marks on your, like, body armor and stuff to see that it's getting knocked off, but I haven't grokked the formula for remembering how to calculate that quickly yet, because I've only played maybe, like, 4 or 5 games. And so it's a slow process, but I've been really enjoying it. Oh, nice. Well, I'll have to take a look at it. Yeah, I just haven't... It's one of those things of, like, right now, I've been prepping for the old world, I'll admit. I have been a little biased towards GW at the moment because I've been really excited about the returning to the old world, which I admit, I'm a little sad that we're not seeing anything of it. I know it's because it releases this week, and so I pre-ordered my Bretonians. There's been inclement weather, and I believe some shipments have been delayed from various warehouses that are going out to local hobby stores, which is where I picked up my copy of the Bretonian stuff, and so it hasn't arrived yet. We got a notice from the store today. It was really upsetting. Christian CC is in the other room, I think, watching this stream. So that he can check it out. But we don't really have, like, space for him to super sit in here next to me or anything, so. I've never heard of Iron Wind Metals. So what is that, Keith? Is that like a hobby shop that specializes specifically in metal miniatures? Oh my god, that sounds really cool. Or is it like a toy store? Oh my gosh, Red Barn Games, that sounds awesome. Nice, I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about open, what's it called again? Oh my god, it's scrolled past, hold on. Let me roll, one-page rules. Sorry, I don't know why I said open. I think it's because the O made me think of open source. Anyways, one-page rules. I've heard nothing but good things about one-page rules. One of the things I actually also want to try, and I do have some starter sets for this, is Relic Blade. I picked that up at KublaCon like 2-ish years ago, maybe 3 years now. That KublaCon was kind of a mixed bag of an experience. But like, yeah, I want to try that because that also has some really cool metal miniatures. I know I saw Keith was talking about metal miniatures previously, and it just reminded me of that. And also all of, like, half of the old world stuff that I've been painting recently has all been metal miniatures because I don't have the starter set yet because it's been delayed, at least for me, at my store. And I am sad about it. I'm just seeing if they're prepped, if they've got their stuff going, since they've got 15 minutes till they begin. I misread my clock for a second, and I read it as 8:26, not 8:46. I was like, did I fucking start like half an hour early? No, I did not. Greetings, Steven. Welcome, welcome. Oh, okay, I see. That's so cool, Keith. I had no idea. I wonder, have they been around for a while? Like, have they been a licensed producer of miniatures for Catalyst Games for a while? Because, like, where is it? Hold on. I have Ral Partha. Okay, no, never mind. These are a different company. So, sorry, the reason I was asking was because oh, okay. Wait, you just said that they have an online store too. Lots of old Ral Partha. So yeah, like this one. I was about to tap on the screen to make it focus, but that's not how this camera works. So I have two, because I found them randomly. So funny thing is, and you can, I don't remember if there was a video about this one. I talk about it, but I don't think I picked these up in that video. So at one of the toy shops that I go to, they have like a really wild collection of things. Thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate your continued support. You are awesome. So at Pot of Gold, one of the stores that I go to regularly, they randomly had a huge collection of old pewter and lead, I can't pronounce things for the sake of my life. Ral Partha, miniatures for Battletech, and I got the Shogun because I thought it looked cool, and I got I think it says Dragon? LN Dragon? I'm not sure. I got this other one because I thought it looked cool. And it's really funny because this one has no label saying that it's not lead, because it is in fact, where does it say it? Okay, there it is. Warning. This miniature contains lead. You can't read it because it's blurred out. But then this one I thought was interesting. It's lead free. So different eras, but they look like they're from like identical time periods. But you can really tell because like the backs are super different. But like the front, it's really funny. Look exactly the same, other than like that one, warning that says it's lead free. But yeah, I have two of those. So definitely something that like one day I'll open them up. I don't know if I'll actually paint the lead one. Like, I know it's not, like, that bad, and it'd be fine, because all I'd have to do is wash my hands and not put my fingers in my mouth after handling it, but I don't know. It still makes me slightly uncomfortable. Got it. That's so cool. So you said that their store is in Ohio? Huh. That would be a really cool trip. I don't travel much, but like when I eventually do, because I want to sometime, mostly after the cats like have gone on vacation, have gone to college, then I want to travel a bit more, and that would be a cool place to go and like visit. Oh, by the way, also, I hope everybody has proper hydration for the stream. I have prepared water in the cup for the Emperor. Dude, metal prices are absurd right now. I understand why their prices have gone up. Like, producing metal miniatures is just not cheap. Like, it's just not a cheap process. Let's see, are you guys doing anything? Let's refresh the page. Nope, there's a lot of other people waiting for things to happen, though. Look at all these people going with a Warhammer previews. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. That's hilarious. That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it. Just get yourself some caffeine and go. It's in Cincinnati. That's so cool. You know what? That's awesome. Coffee in a Jedi mug. I approve. I'm not a big coffee drinker myself. Actually, in fact, that I don't drink any coffee. I have like I feel like I have an eye, or I have. Oh my God, Angela. I know it's been a long day, but like words have meaning and use them properly. I feel like I have like a hair stuck in my eyeball, like, or on my eyelashes, but I think it's just the weight of my eyelashes. Hello, Alan. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, getting a new Malarian would be very cool. I agree. Basically, any Eldar, I am excited to see happen. That would be super cool. Would love to see it. Am I looking at the right? There you are. There they are. Look at them. I knew they were live. All right, let's get rid of our music. We'll wait for this stupid ad to finish. Because, oh my God, Twitch and its ads that are unskippable. Thanks, Twitch. I do not have any current plans for modern tanks. Although I would love to revisit some Israeli tanks. I thought the Merkava was really cool. Loved that kit. But currently I have some more World War II era tanks in the works, or at least in the plan. I believe. I think these are all World War II. One of them no, I'm pretty sure it's World War II still. Hold on. Well, oh my God, is this ad still going on? Okay, let's see. The Martyr 3 tank. Are you? Yep, World War II. Okay, that's what I thought. So right now I have 4 things that I'm choosing between, and actually, oh my God, Red Bull, we don't fucking care. My patrons and YouTube members have voted on it. I believe the polls are all closed on that. But I am planning on a future tank build that don't know 100%, but should be coming in February. At the latest, it would be early March, but I believe it's going to be happening in February. So I believe that's what's going to happen. But I do want to look at doing probably some modern tanks afterwards. Because I've done a couple of World War II era tanks recently. I did the Panzer, obviously, or the 38T. Still technically a Panzer, but you know. Oh my god, it's over. Okay, we've got questions now. Perfect. We also don't need their chat. Who the heck cares? Let's just widescreen them. No, let's not widescreen them because... Well, actually... Can I... I'm gonna see about... There we go. I think they're a little more centered and we're zoomed in. And I feel like that's just cleaner looking. It's cleaner looking, and I don't feel like I'm looking at Twitch anymore when I look at this screen. Obviously, when I'm looking at my actual screen, I'm looking at Twitch. What was I talking about? Oh, right. Tanks. Tanks, everybody. Also, do we not have sound? We have no sound. I brought sound in. How does that sound?
I was gonna say, you don't have sound?
I unmuted it, or they were muted. Like, when I went into it, they were just muted.
Okay.
I repositioned a little bit in this window to center it a little so that I wasn't seeing this, or they're not seeing this side of the screen anymore.
Excellent.
All right, thank you. Okay, yes, tanks. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm tired. It's tired. I'm tired. It's late. It's not actually that late. I'm just old and tired. But yeah, so I have World War II tanks in the works. I do want to get into some modern tanks. I also want to do a diorama. Would love to maybe look at doing another plane, although I will admit the planes and ships especially scare me. Ships I'm not ready for. I'm just straight up saying that right now. There are too many from what I've seen of other people online building them. There are just too gosh darn many of those like little, I don't remember what they're called specifically, but those etched metal pieces that they put, those like acid etched pieces or whatever. No thank you. No. Too many. I don't have the energy for that, which is why I'm mostly sticking with tanks right now, because they have less of those, they're mostly plastic, and they're beautiful. Yeah, you're hoping for some wolves? That'd be cool. Oh, yeah, but so, Martyr 3 is an option. The R35, so that little light French tank, also an option. I then also gave them the option of a AB Fenton, so a Toyota Fenton, which is a car, actually, which I've never done, like, cars. I've only done tanks. I've done military vehicles, but no... and technically, this is still an armored car, from my understanding, I believe. No, sorry, this one's not. I think this is just a standard car, but it has a fabric top, which I thought was really cool, that's why I bought it. And then the other option comes with an armored car, and that is the Type 1 self-propelled gun, as well as the Kurogane 4x4. I don't know what the 4x4 means. I assume that's the bed because it's a Jeep looking thing. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to a single one of the questions that they've asked. I do not know the answer to this one, though. I thought I saw a weird reflection on my nose, and I think it's just a shadow being cast from my glasses. I have Toy Painter, actually. I've dealt with tracks that come individually linked. I've also dealt with I've actually dealt with them when it comes with a standard plastic scale model kit, as well as Lego. Which, by the way, Oh my god, so there is a Monkey Kid Lego set. So this is totally random. Not exactly, it's tangentially related, but you'll see why in a second. So there was a Monkey Kid set that Chaos Cultist was building recently to add to our collection, and I thought it was the coolest frickin' thing because it came with treads. Like, actual legitimate, like, treads that worked on this vehicle, and I was like, this is so cool, please. The Lego never will. They'll never do the military stuff. I get why. I think the original owner of the company was, like, in World War II or something like that. I can't remember specifically, but I know there's like a history there. They don't really like to represent real world like military vehicles. The main exceptions tend to be Indiana Jones because he's still a fantasy like fictional character, and so they kind of like get away with it. And then also having sort of pseudo Nazis, whatever, it's fine. It's Indiana Jones, so who cares? And then I think there was like one other thing that also was like qualified as fantasy and not technically military even. Oh, it was the toy soldiers for Toy Story.
It's a ramen tank.
It's a ramen tank. So this is the thing I was talking about. Like, look, it has actual treads that it actually rolls. It blew my mind. I was like, when I saw this, I really wanted them to make an actual tank.
I believe they originally made the treads for construction vehicles.
Is that what it is?
But yeah, show the top how it's inside. It's a ramen.
Oh yeah, it's totally a ramen. It's a ramen bowl of ramen. See,
with a kitchen inside to make more ramen.
Exactly, and they shoot ramen out. This was from an episode in the series where they went to battle against a panda restaurant.
They were fighting a Panda Express in a Gordon Ramsay-esque reality show.
It was actually quite brilliant. It is very cool looking. That would be really cool, Ignacio. I would love to see some Catachan Jungle Fighters versus Tyranids as a Kill Team set. Honestly, Kill Team could have some really good stuff for us, potentially this time around, because there could be some good Tyranids. We could, as much as I would absolutely love to see the Catachan, that would be so much more exciting.
Hello, and welcome to this Warhammer preview.
Okay, let me know how they are sounding.
By the wonderful Eddie. And it is the Las Vegas Open 2024, otherwise known as LVO. Always a very exciting time for us. I think Warhammer, one of the independent Warhammer events in the calendar, always a super exciting time. As always, we've got some fantastic releases to show you, but before we get into that, Eddie, tell us a little bit about LVO, what's been going on at LVO.
Yeah, so LVO, the Las Vegas Open, is one of the largest independent Warhammer events in the world. We think it's great that big independent Warhammer events happen all around the place, and we try and
touch low.
Support
okay, hold on.
And one of the ways that we do that is some of the larger ones. We take the opportunity to show you some cool
How
stuff.
is that?
And obviously, we are here right at the start of the new year, and it means that we've got lots of very exciting Warhammer things to show you that are coming up in the next few months. So we have things across multiple game systems: Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and the Horus Heresy, along with some of our.
Are they still low since I've turned them up, or are they better now?
We are coming to you live from
can't hear
Nottingham.
them. Okay, hold on.
The guys who are at the Las Vegas Open at the moment are lucky enough to have just sat through a preview and seen some of the stuff that you guys are about to see.
All right, how is
an
that?
hour ago,
I've upped them a bit
now
more.
The rest of the world, you guys who are tuning in, get to watch it as well, and should be good. We've got some really good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of which, rest of the world, where are you guys joining us from, as is tradition?
Yeah,
we always have to ask. And also, what time is it as well?
There.
Because it's 5 a.m.
I mean, we know what time it is. We
know what time it is here. I was slightly unsure. 5 a.m. here. So what time is it where you guys are joining us from?
It is very early and very cold here in the UK.
Yeah, it's a bit frosty here in the UK.
If you are tuning in from somewhere in the UK, in Europe, and
you've
rolled yourself out of bed in the small hours of the morning to join us. Thank you ever so much for joining us. We very much appreciate it.
Unfortunately, they're going to be probably a little bit, like, I am going to keep them lower than me, but I will,
Italy,
that's about as high as I'm willing
Australia,
to take
Brazil, Japan, 11 p.m, Alabama, Austin, Texas, Argentina, all over the world. Thousands of you as well.
So one of the cool things about doing these previews is that we do get to kind of have a moment to kind of share some cool Warhammer stuff with all the Warhammer community around the whole world, and it's great to kind of come together and just get excited about new Warhammer stuff that's on its way. The other thing, of course, guys, is to let us know in the chat if there's anything you're particularly hoping that you see, anything you're looking forward to seeing particularly that gets previewed. obviously
very
we've all got our
early
own
for
favorite
them.
game systems, favorite armies, favorite
it's because
factions.
the LVO
fingers
is in
crossed
Las
that those are going to be the
Vegas.
things to reveal, and hopefully some of you guys tuning in will
Although I am kind of surprised they're still doing like even the preview for the people in
some armies that have
LVO
been waiting
like
patiently
so late at
for
night.
some new miniatures and some new reveals will get.
Because I'm pretty sure
we'll get the
Vegas
time
is in
today.
my time zone.
Yeah. So what have we got? We've got.
Maybe they're an hour ahead.
Space
too fast,
Wolves.
moving too fast.
But that was
moving
still
too
be
fast.
an hour earlier.
Before we get stuck in as well, I just want to say thanks
so,
to Raf, who's running the tech today. So if it all goes smoothly,
which it will,
obviously. It's all because of him, and a big thanks to Notley, our moderator, who's keeping you guys sane in the comments there.
You're
as well.
in the
so big
LVO?
thanks to those guys. Right,
You're prepping for Blood Bowl? Woo!
Should we kick off?
I love Blood
some
Bowl. What are you
previews?
playing?
Into it.
Let's go.
What do you We're starting with Kill Team. Oh, I like them. Okay, I thought, oh my god, yes! Did you see the Night Lords there?
A new Kill Team box there. The second for the new season of Kill Team. It's bad v bad as well. It's the Dakari Shadow Demons take on the Night Lords Terror Troops. And let's start with the Murderous Night Lords. What do we know about
I'm getting this Kill Team box set!
Yeah, so
oh my god, yes!
Nightmare. So we knew it was on
yes!
the
Yeah.
we
yes!
knew the Kill Team coming. We had announced the name before, and we had talked about the Night Lords. So not
yes!
too long because we have seen these guys before, but they're such cool models. It's worth kind of showing again. This is half of your Kill
I'm
Team
so glad
set.
they're in there.
Night Lords, Nemesis Claw, Kill Team, and as you can see, it's a really lovely bunch of Chaos Space Marine miniatures. And the key thing really here is that this is a brand new expansion kit for your Chaos Space Marine squad. Added on top.
They are looking sweet, right? I do like the Mandrakes. I do
miniatures, and lots of very Night Lordy touches there. So you've got like some bat-winged helmets. You've got
sorry
some
guys, sorry.
Claws.
You know how
There's
it is. You know how it is during these LVOs. I get loud.
We've even got a kind of half a loyalist space marine on a stick, which is pretty cool as well. But we have seen these before, so we're not going to dwell on them for too long. So we're moving on to
look at the
cool
Mandrakes.
New thing
I love the dude
today,
with the like
Mandrakes, Drakari
thing
Mandrakes
going
for
around.
Kill Team. Obviously, both of these units as well also available in Warhammer
all of the
40,000.
dudes that have
so
like
Mandrakes are a unit.
Well, I guess they all have it. All of the ghostly
Drakari
hand stuff that's happening.
Pretty much since
fucking
their inception,
cool.
but in various different forms. And this is the first time that this unit's been available in plastic. So you can see already these are really cool, dynamic, very detailed miniatures. A perfect choice for a Kill Team because these are absolutely kind of shadow operatives that hang out in the night.
That is an
amazing, shadows, that sort of thing. A few things to kind of note about this kit. So you'll be familiar with the concept of Mandrakes if you're a Drakari fan already. But there's some new things in the mix here as well. So rather than being a default unit where every model is effectively the same, there's a little bit of variety mixed into this kit as well. So you've got some leader units in there in the form of the Night Fiend. You've got a model called a Shadow Weaver, who's that one that you can see on the far right,
horrors. That's what I tend to run.
throwing a cloak of midnight around himself. And then you've got a couple of variations of weapons in there as well. So you can see bottom left there is a big two-handed flaying sword there, which looks pretty terrifying.
Nice. Imagine swinging that.
Yeah. So the way that these guys fight is that they are kind of part Drakari, part Shadow Demon. Their origins are a little bit mysterious, as is the case with a lot of Warhammer 40,000, and they wear cloaks of flayed skin. So I suppose in that
sounds
regard,
awesome.
So
I assume they are very much a in-your-face, wanting to punch you down, not really about catching and like throwing as much.
And weapons, very cruel-looking weaponry there, kind of a little bit butcher in the mix, and they've also got the ability to kind of throw shadowy flame around the place as well.
Oh,
so,
Chris, they absolutely do. You're totally right about that.
Close. And
those Mandrakes do
their
steal
thing is that they can kind of pop in and out of the shadows and attack wherever they need to on the battlefield.
If they can get them from their
very, very cool unit.
Chaos.
I think as well one that Drakari players have been looking forward to for a very long time in plastic. Now expanding that already very lovely Drakari range into new exciting places. And I think as well, like a treat for painters as well. So you look at some of,
Yeah, no,
some of those
I'm
miniatures
just
and the
excited
opportunity to do
these
some
up and paint.
very fancy
honestly,
work on some of those.
I love the flame work that they did
kind of
on 'em.
tattoos and glowing bits.
Hello,
Fantastic.
Gabo
kind of
Suma,
ethereal flame
welcome.
on there as well. Lovely different mix of textures across the models as well.
Greetings to
So
you
you've
as
got
well.
kind of flayed
What
skin.
time is it
you've
there
got
in
the
Mexico right now?
dark
Are you
demonic
in
skin?
Are you in the
you've got
Pacific time
kind of
zone? So are
wispy
you?
hair
Is it
and
like
you've got
8
flames
something
and
for you,
butcher
9
knives
something
and all
for
sorts
you?
of stuff. So
9,
a
10,
really
I guess.
lovely kit to paint
Lovely
up as well.
mix, yeah, nice mix, and there's
Got
some new terrain as well.
Frenzy on most of the roster.
This
That makes complete
is
sense.
the,
What's that?
Generatorium.
That's the generatorium, isn't it? Yeah, of course.
So you can put this in the middle of
Yes,
your new
our
kill zone. Kind of, you can imagine this kind of
prolific
popping out
Latin
in the middle of the
words.
oil rig, in the
Yeah.
middle of those kind of turbulent seas across the planet,
Night
and
Lords
a
look
kind of
so
nice
cool.
solid bit of ground for your forces to fight over. The new season of Kill Team is obviously set across these raised plates that you can imagine kind of popping out of the turbulent seas.
I'm
of the,
sorry, Ignacio. I am
water
really
planets of
sorry.
Warhammer
Maybe
40,000.
they
The
tend to do
Generatorium
multiple kill
is
team
flexible
releases
enough
a year,
actually
so
that it's a
maybe you'll
large
get
piece of terrain that you could also
in
sit quite
something
happily in the middle
upcoming.
of a Warhammer
Means
40,000
it's the beginning of the
battlefield,
year,
and it's
so
tall
you've got
enough as well
time.
that you could
You've
probably
got
like
time.
hide a few infantry units behind it as well. So it's just a nice, cool, fairly sizable blocky piece of terrain that you can add to any game, either Kill Team or
Got it.
Warhammer
Okay,
40,000.
so it is
levels
specific.
there
I
as
thought
well, I
it
think
might
there's
be
like that
because
sort
like
of upper level and
it's
then that kind of lower
I'm in
bit as well,
California,
right?
so like
Yeah, there's
it's in that same
factories,
region, so
yeah,
I
I
kind
think
of
that's
assumed
the-
it would be, but I didn't.
Yeah, so if you're
actually
playing
know.
Kill Team
Steps up,
especially,
yeah.
there's lots of like little nooks and crannies and
Yeah.
stuff, which is what you want
okay.
from Kill Team,
Oh,
right? You want
so
to have
is
enough
Mexico
places
City-
to have some
Mexico
heavy
City
cover
must
and
be
kind
in
of
the
pop out
central-
and like fire some pistol shots
didn't know
down
that.
there or
That's
throw
cool.
some flame, whatever your ranged weapon is, before you get kind of up close and personal and into the melee of close combat.
I hope so, dude.
Lovely
Me too.
stuff.
Me too.
And all of that comes together initially in a big box set, which is Kill Team Nightmare,
Yeah.
and then, as is traditional, both of those
Kill
units will be
Team
made
Nightmare.
available separately.
Well, I guess I'm gonna
individually
have to
for
be
Warhammer
buying that
40,000,
Kill Team
and that
set.
terrain piece as well. So, yeah, all of that on its way. So whether you're a Kill Team fan or a Warhammer 40,000 fan, there's some good stuff to look forward to in that set.
Oh, very, very nice.
Oh my god, my shoulders
So I think
popped.
without further ado, shall we do the
Yeah, let's have a look at the
next
next thing.
reveal?
Yeah, what we got next? Spooky night haunts and some elves. All right, so our next Warcry set. Wait, I thought Warcry was just chaos. Have they started adding in order to Warcry? And I missed that? I would not be surprised. I haven't been following Warcry nearly as, oh my god, that looks rad. I love their, like, unicorn helmets. Or they're seahorse helmets? I don't know. The color palette looks great. I don't know what those
New
elves are.
warbands willing to brave the horrors of the Gnarlwood there in this Warcry box, Pyre and Flood. It's Lumineth versus Nighthaunt.
Oh, it's Lumineth. So
Eddie,
they
tell us a
are.
little
So it
bit
is a
about
seahorse
this.
type thing.
So this is a
That's
new
cool.
box set for Warcry.
I'm not
As you say,
really
we've got
super
Lumineth
big
and
into the
Nighthaunt.
sea elves
This is a
specifically.
continuation of
Honestly,
the
I'm
Warcry
just
season we're in
not
already, which is
super
set in
huge
the
into
jungles of Gur.
Age of Sigmar in
so
general,
still very much
but a lot of the
in
stuff
the
that they've come
setting
out
you're
with
familiar
Warcry,
which means you can quite
Underworlds,
happily
some other
pitch
offshoots
both of
from the
these
main
warbands against any
Age
of
of
the warbands
Sigmar
that
stuff, I've
currently
really
exist in
enjoyed on an
Warcry.
aesthetic
And
level.
much like
This
every other
continues to
Warcry
be the
set we've seen
case.
so far, as well as adding new skirmish forces to Warcry, they also add new units to armies for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So if you've got a Nighthawk force or a
okay, so
Lumineth
they've
force,
added
this
in.
gives you
They've
another
added in
unit
because
to
it
kind
did
of add
like
into the
when
mix.
Warcry
So
originally
if we start off with
released.
the
I
Udrillian
swear
River
it
Blades,
was a,
this
like,
is
we're just
effectively
doing chaos.
the aspect of water made
And they just kept
manifest for the
producing
Lumineth.
a bunch of different, like,
if you're familiar with the way that
chaos-themed
the Lumineth
things.
army works, generally speaking, the warriors or the elite warriors certainly
Interesting
within
that
that
they're
army
sort of now
will
treating
kind of pay homage or be
Warcry
inspired
more
by
like
the spirits
just
of
kill
the
team,
realms of
seemingly,
natural
where you
forces
can
for the
just
most
run
part. So
anything,
we've seen
any of the
mountain
factions.
already, we've seen air, and now we're seeing the
Which
forces of
so the
rivers
Master
basically
Ninja one
kind of, come to
110.
life. And these are
what are
very
you getting
fast,
the set for? Is it for the
very
Lumineth
hard-hitting
elves, or is it
elite
for
warriors
the?
who are able to kind of dance around enemy blows before delivering their kind of precision strikes.
I now forgot what
and
the
you've got
other
a good mix
thing
of
is that
different
we saw because
unit
I'm
types in
tired
there, and you can
and
sort
my
of
brain
like
isn't
read into them
working.
a little bit. That you've got
Well,
some
they'll
kind
show
of
it to us
commander
again in a
unit, you've
second.
got some kind of elite fighters there, and you've got some.
It's for
I
the Sea
suppose,
Elves?
new additions to the,
Oh,
to the
the-
mix.
the
So
ghosties,
Your
of
leader
course,
there is
the
called
ghosts.
a pure
Is it for
flood
the ghosts, or
seneschal.
is it
He's
for
the one
the,
right in the middle with the very impressive stallion helm and his kind of trident. You have the stream runners, which are your kind of the ones with the fully armored faceplates, which are kind of very in tune with the
If
with
you
the spirit
mean
of
the
the
ones
water.
for
And then you've got the
Warcry,
kind of new
then I
additions to
believe
the
they are
mix, which
going
are
to
the
show it to us
crest
here in a
dances,
second.
which
We're looking
are
at the
kind of
Lumineth
more
Realm
lightly
Lords
armored
right now.
warriors who are just
And,
learning their trade.
we're gonna
sort of
look at the
thing.
Night Haunts, I
But this
think, in a
unit
sec.
in Warcry, you can imagine being very effective because they're going to be very
Nice.
fast. They're going
The
to hit
Night
very
Haunts,
hard,
I
and they
do
can
really
dance
like
quite
the
happily
Night
across all
Haunts.
the
They
various
are
pieces
very
of terrain. And what they're trying to do effectively
Some of
in
my earliest
Warhammer Age of Sigmar
experimentation
is
with
tend to
contrast
and
paint,
nurture the rivers
was on
and
Night
the
Haunts.
wild water
It was actually
places
even before
of the
contrast
mortal
was out. It
realms.
was like
And
that
particularly in the Nullwood, they're trying to make sure that the river that's been kind of set off course by the eruption of the huge Gurish jungle is kind of set back on the right path to kind of wash away the forces of chaos and darkness that inevitably pop up almost everywhere.
Now, stop me if I'm wrong, but I imagine that the Nighthaunt Pyregeists have absolutely no intention of allowing that to happen.
Yeah, so this is very much an elemental force battle because you've got on one hand the forces of water and then and fire on this side.
I'm sorry you feel that way not telling. I mean, I feel like they've
some
always
fun IP basically where
sort of used Kill Team as a way
who's
to
the Lord of
supplement
Death and obviously is
40K
particularly
while
fond
also
of
providing
cruel and
additional
unusual
game,
punishments
but
for the spirits
I can
of
see
anybody
what
who's
you
seen
mean.
wronged
I mean, I
him
feel like it's
or
kind of been
otherwise
trending
really
that way
just
for a
generally a
while,
bit spiteful.
unfortunately.
And all of these characters are to some extent warriors or mortals who
Really?
in life
You like the AOS
were
elves and
guardians
undead more
of sacred
than you like the
places
fantasy
or
undead and elves?
particularly temples of the
That's-
dead. So they would have been.
I will admit, I've
either,
never heard anybody
priests
say
who
that
would have
before,
overseen
but I
mortuary
completely respect
rites,
you for
or
having that
guardians
opinion.
of tombs,
Like, I
or
completely get it.
grave robbers
Like,
or something like
I could
that.
see
So
how either
that guy
lore-wise
right in
or
the middle there, the
aesthetic-wise,
Deacon
they
of
might appeal
Flames,
to you more.
would
I
have been a
personally
mortuary priest, which would have been held in very high
love the
regard in the
sort of
mortal realms
classic
in life, and kind of made sure that the spirits of
old
the
world
departed were kind of
vibe,
seen
but
happily into whatever Shaishian paradise they thought they were going to go
I've
to.
never played Hero
Nagash
Quest.
didn't really like that because he wanted to make sure that all the souls went to him. So whenever he got his hands on any of these souls, he'd make sure that they were kind of their punishment was actually not to kind of shepherd
aren't they beautiful?
fallen souls
Like,
to paradise,
I
but
love
actually
the
just
look
to
of
make
these
sure that
models.
they went
They
to him.
continue to really do some interesting things.
The warriors with the
even though the ghosts
halberds
continue
there
to
are
all
Bale
be
guards,
just
so
these
they would
haunched
previously have
creatures
been
with
guardians
robes
of
and
tomb
skeletal
complexes
hands.
and looked after
But I love
the sacred burial grounds
so
of the
I
mortal
love the
realms.
main center
And again,
guy, right?
Nagash
He's
didn't
great.
like that because he
What
wants
I
to have,
actually really
get
like
hold of
though
both
are the two
the souls and
armored
the
dudes. They've
literal
got, like,
bones and mortal
the
remains of those warriors.
cowl
So when he managed to get
that's
hold of
metal,
one of
as well
those
as
souls,
the,
he'd put them to use
pauldrons.
guarding
Love that design.
the Beacon of Flames.
I do
then you've
like
got
all the ones up
flame
top,
wraiths,
too,
which are the ones holding
with
the
the white.
braziers there. And in life, they would have been they would have been monks who lit the candles of those sacred places in the
I
various
also
tomb complexes and
would
things.
love for
And
them
in
to start
death,
producing
they now serve Nagash,
like
setting
some
people on fire,
characters or
basically,
models
and ushering
from the
those
Night
souls
Hotline
to him.
specifically
And I think
in
my
those clear
favourite
plastics that they
are those
used for
ones at the
Lord of
top,
the Rings
which
recently.
are torch wraiths.
I think that would be
and they are
epic.
effectively in
Like,
life
that
they
would
would have been
look
grave
so
robbers.
cool.
And
I
Nagash
think
isn't a
it'd
fan
be
of that
so
either because he likes to
interesting
get
to be
hold
able
of
to
all of
paint
those
with them.
bones to build
Like,
into stuff. That's the kind of
I
the
would-
main
I would-
building material
I would
really for
buy that.
Nagash is
Yeah,
bones.
yeah.
So in death, if he gets hold of the
They do kind of look like
soul of
Elder
the grave robber,
Harlequins. You're right.
he gives
They
him
do
another
have a
cruel
little
and
bit of a
unusual
Harlequin
punishment
vibe.
to basically be on fire
I can
all
see
the
the
time,
resemblance.
but
It's
also
the-
to serve
it's the
him
seahorse-like
throwing
trim
that fire back at his
that I
enemies.
think
So,
really does that.
a really interesting mix of units for
Yeah.
Warcry.
For ghosts.
So
I don't
this very
know
much built as a
lore-wise about
skirmish
Age of
warband
Sigmar
with
that
lots
much,
of different
but,
variety in
they
it,
are
but also
ghosts.
able to be used in Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
I mean, they
as a
might
kind of
be
mixed
Grim
unit as well.
Reapers
So
too,
it's a
but
really
not
fun
like
addition.
in the classical
And
sense.
this comes to a little
There's
bit of
no
scenery as well. A
solitary
slant
Grim
statue
Reaper
from
in
Talaxis. This
Grim
is the
Reaper.
idol of
Oh
the
my God,
Old
Grim
Ones, which is a
Reaper
malfunctioning
in
artifact of power.
Games Workshop. Ooh.
So the whole of the
That's
Gurish
cool.
jungle, the Nullwood,
Dude,
is
I
effectively
don't know if I've ever
strewn
seen
with
Lizard Man
bits of
terrain
this
before.
colossal Seraphon starship that's kind of crashed across it.
That's
And you can
so
imagine this thing
cool.
being like the prow or the figurehead of
Oh
that
my God, I
temple
wanna
ship
paint
that's kind of
that.
crashed
I
through
love
the
the
middle of the
gem
jungle
eyes.
and fallen off. And obviously everything Seraphon is just
Imagine if you
laced with
brightened it
magic,
a little bit and gave it
and
a
it's
little
a really
bit of a
nice
glossy
mix
sheen
of
to make it look more like gems,
kind of
rather than,
fantastical and the arcane.
like
so
right now,
you've got
to me, what it's
obviously
reading
it's
as
a big cool statue
and
of,
what we're
of
seeing is
possibly a slan, possibly an old one. But also
like it's
you've
dormant
got
right now. It's not. It's
some
not
hints
powered
there
up.
that there's some
but
tech
imagine if it
going
was
on
glowing,
inside
like
it.
it
So
had been,
there is that
had
kind of
life
little
in it.
celestial constellation of dots
Is that
on the front
not
might be magical
so
in some way.
cool?
It's obviously covered in precious jewels and gems and all sorts, which is probably magical in some way, shape, or form.
absolutely.
So anybody who kind of stumbles across this in the mortal realms, apart from the fact that it's half made of gold, If you can drag this back to Civilization somehow, you'll probably be
Although
quite
we
rich.
did get some in a Kill Team
the,
set.
the Nullwood is probably not keen on relinquishing this. So, if you can get it, good stuff. But you've got to brave the Pyre and the Flood first.
Nice.
And all of this comes in a big
Yeah, I
box
knew they
set,
worked for
called Pyre and
Nagash,
Flood,
but
and
I was
comes
like,
with
I'm
a
pretty sure
new
they're just
warband
ghosts.
tome,
They're like
which
the
gives you all
souls
the
of the
rules you
dead
need
that
to
Nagash
play
has
the
captured
Lumineth
and
and the
is
Night
using to
Haunts
his
new warbands in
will.
Warcry.
Lovely stuff.
Right? Really good looking
Warcry,
terrain. I
oh, yeah,
love
it
that
is
all together.
planet.
So I think that gives you a sense of how
like, this
big
set
that
is
piece of
pretty
terrain
darn
is as well.
cool,
Like it's a
actually.
nice chunky piece of terrain to put onto your battlefield. And if you have been collecting Warcry terrain since the start of this season, you will probably now have pretty much a whole battlefield full of weird trees.
Dude, that
and,
happens every time
old one
you
relics
guys
and all
release
sorts
these
of
big
stuff.
sets
So
because you're
this is a nice
constantly
kind of
slamming
centerpiece
us
to
with
kind of top that
terrain.
off.
Lovely stuff.
It'd be lovely if you did more stuff like this
So,
where you kept doing
let's
like
take a look at the next one.
non-standard terrain that is just not like whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't even think about Kroot. Oh my god. Tau! Yeah, oh, it is a full kit. Yes. Yes. Oh my god, look at them. They're embracing the Xeno. Yes. Oh my god, they're so cute. I love them. Oh! Yes! Look! Oh my! Rejoice, Tau players! You're actually getting Kroot! And a shit ton of them! Tau are the next one to come. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I completely forgot about that little preview of the Kroot boy that they showed us recently. When I talked about it on the news, I wasn't even thinking about the Tau. Oh my god. Was that a box set?
And truly
was that a
open.
box
Everyone
set
in the
of
chat
Kroot?
just going Kroot. This is the new Kroot for the Tau
Look
Empire,
at
along with the new codex as well for the Tau in 10th edition.
Oh
Eddie,
my god, they're
let's
naked
start
as
with the Kroot.
fuck.
What do we know about these Masters of DNA?
So the Kroot
Oh my
have been
God,
part
you
of the Tau
guys.
Empire since
I
their
am
inception
so hyped for this.
back in a
I am
previous
so
edition
ready
of Warhammer
for
40,000.
Games Workshop to
but
actually
they haven't
allow
had
the
a
Tau
huge
to
amount of
branch out
attention
and
since
have
they
something
came out,
other than their
with the
beautiful
one very
bluefish
notable
people.
exception of the Kill Team that was released for Kill Team. But we are now
Kill
seeing
Team set
a
that was released
massive
for, of course, Kill
expansion
Team.
for the Kroot, and what we're going to show you today is only some of the new Kroot that are on their way for
Only
for
some!
the Tau
Guys,
Empire and
yes!
auxiliaries for Warhammer 40,000. So this is we'll start with the Kroot Carnivore Squad. These are your basic
Kroot,
troopers.
Kroot,
So
Kroot.
this is the a refresh of an existing kit with loads more detail. It's been a very long time since the Kroot Carnivore Squad came out. It was I think early 2000s, so almost 20 years waiting.
Yeah, I don't know
for
if
this
I've
new
actually
unit.
seen these
and the
guys,
new
like,
kit has
outside
got
of this. If it's
everything
a
you'd hope for in a
redo
new
of an old
kit of Warhammer 40,000. Loads of different options in the mix there
Love
to make them very dynamic and very cool. You've got things like new special weapons that you can see bottom left there. Got some lots of combat options, lots of things to kind of add a bit of variety.
Tau are gonna
And these are very
finally have
interchangeable
melee.
as well with the Kroot
Even though
Kill
these guys
Team
are
that
all
came
guns
out,
right now, but, like-
I think last year.
Yeah.
So loads of
I'm
really
so
nice
excited
options to
for
kind of
them.
mix into your army. And if you've got a Tau army, you can have quite a lot of these units as well. So there's not a huge amount of extra detail, I suppose, on these beyond the normal the warrior themselves.
Exactly.
Which is good because you might want to have 20, 30, 40 of these guys in a force, which is pretty cool.
I know, that's
but
why
this
I'm
is
hoping that with
arguably
the
the
new
least exciting of the
edition,
new
maybe
units, because
they
there's
do
plenty of
more
other
because
very
they
cool
seem like
stuff
they're
on the
really
way.
embracing them.
This is a Kroot Flesh Shaper. One of the
Look at
things
the-
that
look at his, like,
the
weapon
guys have
on his
done with the
back.
new Kroot is they've really expanded the concept of Shapers, which previously was almost like a catch-it-all term for all Kroot leaders were called Shapers, and what they've now done is expanded the idea of a Shaper into different roles. So there are now
Oh, I'm
Shapers
so
whose main
excited.
job it is
I
to
can't
be,
wait to see this codex.
to kind of lead the evolutionary development of the Kroot.
Like, honestly,
There are
I'm
those of them
actually
that are almost
very
like
hyped
shamanic. There are those
because
of them that are kind of trackers or hunters.
This is
or
a this is
war leaders
a
and things like
faction that I feel like
so the
Games
Flesh
Workshop
Shaper,
has
his kind of
built
role is
up.
to kind
They
of
like they
basically
introduced
decide
it. They
who
were
the
like
Kroot
they're
are
gonna
gonna be.
have all these
Like, you wanna
different
eat that bit, you wanna eat that
aliens,
bit,
and it's gonna be this
kind of,
really eclectic
makes
army,
almost
and
like
then
a
they
butcher
didn't
kind of
do
role
that.
to some extent, and
Yeah.
that's
Okay, they
reflected
just
in
fucking
some of the
didn't do
weapons.
it.
But
They were
you
like,
can see
they're gonna
this
be
guy's
all
also
cool,
tooled up
we're
to the
gonna
nine,
talk about it in
right?
the
Like, he's
books.
got a lot of
We're
different
not gonna actually give you
weapons, both for
representation
killing
in the
and for
models.
cutting.
Yeah.
And now
so
I
he's
feel
also
like
got
we're
a
actually
bit of a
getting that a
menace
bit
in
more.
close combat.
And I like that
A
because I
really
want to see
beautiful
more
kit, though.
aliens.
Like this is
Yeah.
there's a lot
I'm
of
tired
detail
of
on that.
just
So if you're a
constant
painter,
Imperial
and you're looking for
bullshit.
something to kind of show off your skills, this is cool. And I think worth saying as well across the
I mean, don't get me wrong.
range,
I love a good
if
Space
you have a
Marine
Tau
set,
army,
okay?
this gives you a
I
really
get it. They're great. They're
interesting and
chunky.
different
I love
set of stuff
Terminators.
to paint
They're
into that army,
glorious.
which otherwise is very
I love
kind of
Chaos
like near
versions
future
of them even
sci-fi.
more. But I do want To embrace the Xeno.
Another Shaper. So this is a really cool kit. This is the War Shaper, and their role really is the kind of general of the Kroot force. And you can see already
I've never
there
wanted
with
a
some of
Tau
the
army
options we've got on
more.
display that
I'm
there
not
are
gonna
a lot
lie.
of
I've never wanted a
approaches
Tau
to
army
this
more
particular
than
kit.
seeing
You can see,
because now
heads,
I have this
weapons, you've got
beautiful
bows
sort of
and staves
tribally
and,
looking
close combat
like
weapons and all
alien
sorts.
creatures that I can combine
really
with my
lovely
crazy
detail
mech
across this
suits.
model as well. You can see
Like,
the cloak there with that kind
beautiful
of
blend. Love it.
reptilian Kroot looking
Dan, you
flayed
are
skin
Kroot.
on
I
the back
completely
there.
agree.
Loads of kind of extra detail on this guy as well. So
I completely think
this is a really
brilliant
lovely
to see
model.
these
This is probably
results.
one of the more detailed miniatures in the Kroot range.
It's great.
And
I would
really
love
nice to kind
them
of see
to
that kind of
expand it
character
even further. Could you
part
imagine?
of the Kroot expander, because we
I
haven't
wonder if we're
really
gonna
seen
get
that
other
since
things other
the
than
first
Kroot.
incarnation.
Like,
of the
is it
Kroot, so,
just
great to
that
see.
Games Workshop is like, fine, we'll give you fish people and Kroot,
Now,
and that's
this is a brand new unit. So Krootox will be familiar with anyone who's played Tau Empire Army in the past.
I don't know what that ape-like little thing is, but it's
Krootox Rampages
beautiful.
gives you a very different way of approaching them. So rather than being
Are they just like
lumbering
chunky
weapons
Kroots?
platforms,
They look like
these are
Kroot.
younger, bold, kind of shock cavalry version of the Kroot, who charge into the middle of enemy armies and kind of send stuff flying. So this is kind of in the mix with your things
Melee
like
for
Thunder
Tau
Wolves
guys.
and Squig cavalry and stuff like that. So they hit very
Great.
hard,
It's so good.
and they can kind of tear enemy infantry and stuff to pieces. They've got a little bit of shooting
You know,
as well
Michael,
with those javelins
Trazen
and
would have
things,
been
but really
great
what
to
these guys are
see,
about
I will
is just
admit.
smashing right into
But I
the
am
core of the
super
enemy
hyped
army
for
and
these
making a
look
mess.
it,
And what they really do, if you've got a Tau army, is give you a
Walter's
very different
right. They should
style of approach to part of your
absolutely
force.
make
Because
more
one of the
Xeno.
things that you do struggle with the Tau army is, well,
I
if the
want
enemy
more
get close, what
Tau.
am I
I
going
want
to
more
do to fight
variety
them
within the
up
Tau.
close?
I
How
want
do
to
I
see
how do I shift
Eldar.
enemy units off
Gosh
objectives?
darn it, bring
this
them
is one of your units that
back
can
and
absolutely
make
do that. You
them
send these guys
beautiful.
into the an enemy force on an objective, and they will rip them
Tear
up,
it up,
right? So
yeah.
they throw them around.
I
Very,
love
very
that we
cool
got those
dynamic
new
miniatures. You can
mandrakes. Like,
see
they
there,
have
they're kind of
embraced Xeno a little
loping
bit
across
more.
the
I think they're
battlefield,
finally
charging
starting
forward.
to actually listen
A very
to the outcry of
dynamic,
like,
very
could we
fun-looking
please
unit
not
to
just
paint.
have
Yeah, they look
plethora
great. Mean.
of
They do
Space
look
Marine
mean.
after
Yeah,
Space
yeah.
Marine after Space Marine
The
after
traditional
Space Marine after
Krootox
Space
hasn't
Marine
gone away
with
though.
fire.
If anything, he's bulked up a little bit.
Nice.
And again, he comes with a bunch of new options.
They really
so you
do.
can see there.
Like, when they get it right,
this
they
is a
really
kind
get
of
it
older,
right.
gnarlier looking Krootox
God, I
maybe than
love
the
it. It's
Kroot
so
Rampages.
fucking cool looking.
He's got kind of longer quills, lots
That
of
gun is
variety on this
awesome.
model as well.
Like the
so
sorry,
you can see
the
alternate
well,
head
both
options,
of them are
alternate
pretty
gun
cool,
options
but I
as well,
actually
which
like
is a new thing.
the
So
bigger
you've got
one,
some
the,
kind of
like,
blast weapon
with the bigger
options. You've
barrel.
got some heavier, kind of big autocannon-esque sort of options. And this guy, role doesn't really change. Fundamentally, what he's for is kind of hanging out towards the back of the battlefield, or with some of your longer range Kroot units and picking off targets at range. But obviously, still a Krootox. So if you get into close combat with him, he's still going to rip you in half unless you're a
I'm
pretty
sure you're going to
decent
get
close
plenty
combat
more
unit.
Dark
Yeah.
Angels. Don't worry.
So that's about half of the new Kroot stuff that's coming.
Half?
That's what we're going to show
That's
you
so
today. But
fantastic.
all of the stuff that we've
I wonder
just
what
shown
else
you
they're gonna
there
give us. I
actually
have no-
comes in
like,
one
I have
big,
never read a Tau,
launch set, which is the
codex.
Kroot
So
hunting
I
pack. So you
have
get two of those
no idea
units
what
of,
the
Kroot
variety
infantry,
potentially
the
could
Kroot
be for the
carnivores.
Kroot.
You
All I
get a
know is
big
that they
unit
were
of Kroot
generally the,
Rampages,
like,
you
the
get Krootox,
melee forces
and you get the
for
two
the Tau,
Shaper
which
units
then
that
they
we
never
saw
had
there as
because
well.
they never
So you get a very
produced them
sizable force
in,
that
like,
you can either bolt
numerous
onto the side
quantities.
of a Tau Empire force, or you can use it as the start of a Kroot force. And one of
You
the
can just
things
run them
that
as pure
is
Kroot?
in the new Tau Empire
my God.
Codex, which also comes in that box, is a bunch of new detachments. And one of those detachments effectively allows you to lean almost entirely, or entirely if you want to, into a Kroot force.
Nice.
So if you go,
That's
you know what,
pretty
actually,
cool.
these new models are so cool, or
Hello,
I've been waiting so
Alana.
long for a Kroot
Welcome.
army that I just want Kroot. You know what? I don't want
Hope
any of the
you're
Tau stuff. I
enjoying
just want to
yourself.
have
Just give me
a
Kroot.
Let me know if
mercenary
you have
force
any
of Kroot.
questions.
You can actually build an entire Kroot army very happily
can't
with one of the
believe that.
detachments
That is
in
so
this
cool.
book,
Also,
and all of the kind of stratagems
I like the
and
cover
extra
for the
rules
Tau
and things
Codex. It
key
looks
off
lovely.
Kroot units, so you can build them like that.
Pure Kroot!
Or
Yes!
you can go, I've got a Tau army that I've been collecting for a long time, and what I really need is a couple of auxiliary units to give me some combat beef, or to
It's so good.
do some
Like, I
infiltrating grab
love
objectives
this
early on,
shot.
or just kind
because
of give me
on
something
one
different to
side
paint
you have the
for aesthetic
Kroot
purposes,
being
in which case
spiky
you can add
and
in
beautiful,
any of those
and
new
then
Kroot
on the
units into
Tau
your Tau army.
Codex
So
you
I
have
think
robots.
pretty much best of both worlds. You
and
can
just
have it-
giant
you can have
mech
it either way.
suits. It's so perfect.
Some lovely stuff for the Kroot there.
Yeah, get a treat. And like I say, that's
you.
it's only about half of the new stuff that's on its
I
way. And we'll have
appreciate
more
that.
of that Kroot stuff to show you over the next coming weeks and months.
Very nice. Shall we check out the
Yeah,
next
isn't
one?
that
do
how
it.
they
Let's do it.
like they absorb like birds? This is the Age of Sigmar. Okay, so now we're in the Age of Sigmar. Birds? I don't know what. Dark elves? Okay,
Krathusa the Crone Seer there. An important new
She's
Daughters
so
of Cain character for
cool.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Eddie, tell us about this mysterious winged
She
prophet.
is sliding down that slope.
So this is a really exciting release for a few reasons. So if we go from a lore perspective first, the Crone Seer represents a really interesting part of the Daughters of Cain.
Daughters of Cain, that's what I was thinking
which
of.
is that she isn't under the sway of Morathi. So if you're familiar with the way that Daughters of Cain work, Morathi has effectively subverted
oh my
the faith
god,
of
yes,
Cain
it is basically
to
a
kind
Corvus
of
Cabal.
channel all of the belief into the
Right?
bloody-handed god.
I agree.
Into her
Also,
own
please
power
step
source.
on me, Bird Witch
But there are a
Elf
few of the
lady.
Daughters of Cain who are a little bit suspicious of
So,
Morathi's,
from my understanding, Malekith has
intentions,
permanently been renamed,
and
including
don't
in the
really
old
believe what
world,
she's
and
up to.
I am pissed about it.
Krathusa, the Crone Seer, represents
I'm so
part of
pissed
that.
about it.
It's also a very kind of deep
Like, I
deep
get
lore
it.
dive into some
They're
very
trying
old
not to,
elven
like, step on,
lore. With the crone is a
Who
very
is it?
old
World of
elven god,
Warcraft, I think?
and she's
Who has-
almost
no, who has
representing
Malekith?
someone who's kind of
Disney.
stumbled across the power
They're
of
trying
this
not to
very
step on
buried
Disney
elven
because
deity,
of the
and he's kind of manifesting
freaking
she's
Guardians
blind,
of the Galaxy,
and that kind of
one of the
headdress
Guardians of the
she's got
Galaxy
also
movies, because
kind
there
of,
was
I
Malekith,
think you
who was a dark
has-
elf, and
like
that.
inverted
But
spikes.
like
has
Malekith
inverted
is
spikes
just like
into her
a
own
Norse
eyes, so she can't
like,
see,
deity
but she
name,
can
isn't
see
it? Like,
through the power
who
of
the
her
fuck
kind
cares?
of crows
Keep calling
that
him
she
Malekith.
spreads around, so she's kind of
I
lives
don't
in
like
the
his new
shadow
name.
and kind of sees
I don't
through
like his
these,
Age of Sigmar name, but they're
familiars,
using that in the old world.
and the feathers of
It
her
bothers
wings
me.
can also turn into an ethereal flock of crows that can peck out the
I wish
eyes
I
and
could turn
attack
into an
enemies and
ethereal
things like that.
crow.
So
Flock of crows.
she's definitely not a good guy. She's on Team Order,
Fly away.
but she's a fairly sinister sort of character.
Yeah.
And representing a very interesting kind of new
Steven,
piece
I
of the
completely
political
understand.
dynamic for
Enjoy the
Daughters
rest
Cain
of your night.
particularly.
Hope you get some sleep.
In game
We'll see you
terms,
next
she's
time.
a powerful priestess who can kind of add a lot of stuff to a Cainite force, and you can certainly build an army into that kind of
Apparently,
way
they
of playing.
changed his name
And
because
certainly
they were
as
worried
a
about
model,
copyright
just a
infringement from
really
Disney
lovely
because of the villain
display
from
case,
Thor:
right? So,
Dark World. Yes,
a much more.
and it bothers me.
I suppose if you've got
So much.
the Daughters of Cain represent kind of blood and shadow, and Morathi is very much the blood end of the spectrum, and this is
Good
very
night,
much the
Steven.
kind of shadow end of that spectrum.
Yeah.
And that's represented by the box set that you can get her in the first time, which is Krathusa's Crone Host, and in this set you get that leader, the Crone Seer herself,
Oh, I like
alongside
the-
some
I
of
like
the units
the
she's
horse
most
guys.
used to leading, sort of thing. So you can certainly kind of bolt this into an existing Daughters of Cain force, or you can kind of lean into this new
cool.
kind of shadowy aspect where she's the leader.
Lots of options there as well.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
And she's an important player in the Mortal Realms as well.
Yes.
So if we have a look at our next
Thought
reveal,
works.
we'll
I
see
understand. Yeah, no, I get you. It's because I just want to be able to TM it. I just want to trademark it. It's unfortunate. It's one of the few things that I'm like really about with it when it comes to Games Workshop, but I saw some vampires and some vampire hunters apparently. Ooh. Oh, do you see the hairless cat? So, how much do you want to bet all of those vampire hunter models are just former previous expansions for what was the name of the game that came out?
Some new
Curse
heroes rising in
City.
Dawnbringers 5 Shadow
Yes.
of the Crone.
Is that what it was?
What do we
I
know
don't
about this?
remember now.
Yeah, so the Crone Seer is the titular character of
Curse City.
Book 5 of
How
the
much you wanna
Dawnbringer
bet they were
series.
expansion characters
Book 4
for
is on
a
the
set
way
for Curse City?
and will be kind of death-themed and will be all about the kind of
What'd
flesh-eater
you say?
corpse, and that's on its way very soon. But we followed very soon after by Book
thought I heard
5,
Chaos Cultist
which
yell
is
something.
a much more gritty,
Yes, they
low-level,
are
I
flesh-eater
guess,
courts, though.
exploration of the Mortal Realms, mostly set in the city of Hammerhall, where the Crone Seer is aiding a team of Age of Sigmar heroes as they root out.
Yeah, it was
some of the
Curse City, not
evil
Mordheim.
beneath, the Twin
God,
Tailed
seeing
City.
Mordheim come
So
back,
as well
though,
as,
that would
the
be
Crone
wild.
Seer,
Could you
who is
imagine?
a kind of important character, and we get to see why she is one of the
But yeah, I
movers
bet
and
they were
shakers
an expansion for Curse City.
of the lore in the Age of Sigmar. We also get to meet.
Look at them!
two.
Are they not just an expansion for Curse City?
If you are,
they feel like it because remember in the
Age of
Black
Sigmar
Crusade, or the Blackstone Fortress,
which is
the old Blackstone Fortress game. Whenever they would come out with expansions, there were a couple of them that had like a bundle of characters that were heroes that you got to play as.
Effectively, a little bit like your kind of witch hunter.
What do they look like
in Age of Sigmar? And what they do in
heroes
Hammerhall
that you can
and
play
beyond
as
is
Curse
to
City.
root out those.
I wonder
kind
if they'll
of
give them
chaos
character
cults
sheets for
and,
it. I love the old lady
that
with the
might
cat.
seek to undermine the cities of Sigmar. So
I also love the
very much in
giant
the cities of
paladin
Sigmar
man
army,
with the double
but
skeletons
kind of
holding that huge ass
low
key
level
for him.
kind of grunt work, I guess, of rooting out those chaos cults and things that might pop up. Under
They
the
look
nose
super
of the
Curse City to me.
They are joined by a bunch of hangers on. So you've got Valis,
especially
the keeper,
like the
Askian,
four to the
who is
left.
the Stormcast there, and he is one of the.
But even
of
Golden
Hammerhall.
Paladin boy,
You
they
can
just
see
put
on
a
his
they just
shield
put an Age of
symbol Hammerhall,
Sigmar,
which I think we first saw in some of the very early.
or sorry, they put
Cities of Sigmar
a
stuff.
whatever the
So
classic
he looks after
color scheme
Hammerhall
is
in the realm
for
of fire,
the
and kind of goes along when things get really serious, right? When the agents of Azir
Stormcast
need a
Eternal?
little bit of Stormcast help, they can call on this guy.
They just gave him that
You've
color
also
scheme.
got Lisa Ravenia, who is your assassin thief looking character on the top left there, and she obviously brings all the skills that an assassin
Oh my
thief
god,
would bring,
that's so cool.
which is always very
I would
useful.
love to have some old Mordheim models.
You've got an
That would be
interesting
amazing.
character, Mistress Varentia.
She does look like
She is the
Theodora
character
a
there
little
with
bit.
the,
Like, I completely see what you're saying, Chris. Completely, yes.
And
She
she's
does.
a spy mistress in Hammerhall, and the way that she is able to do that is that she has lots of little helpers and friends and critters and creatures that she can see, and you can see that it's got a collar with that glowing.
Oh my god,
gem
look at
there.
all the other.
Which is
I
a
didn't
little
realize
bit
all
like
the
some of
other
gems
cats.
She's got on her person.
She's got like one
And
on
she's
her
probably
like
got
belt, and I
various
think she's.
fleet and flocks of those
I think she's
little
skinned one
creatures
of
that
them
she
and
can
wrapped
use
it
to
around
spy
her
on various
cloak. But
places,
you know that's fine. We'll
around
ignore
the
that
city
part.
and beyond.
She might just have
And
a
of course,
belt
there's a
with the
Gryph-hound
cat
in there as well.
emblem on
So,
it. Now
Balthus,
that I say that.
the Gryph-hound, Valius's loyal assistant ward. So not one but two little pets in there to go with Callus.
He does kind of look like Solomon
and
Kane.
this
You're
is
not
really
wrong.
exciting because Callus and Toll
The cat lady is very
two
cool.
kind of really
She's
fun,
great.
interesting characters.
That's gonna be me when I'm
especially
old.
if you've been following the Black Library books and animations, you might be familiar with. But they've
I'll have a
definitely give you
cane I can
kind of
stab
mortal
you
eye
with,
view
a
of the
mechanical
mortal
arm,
realms,
and half of a
and kind
mechanical
someone to
face.
explore the
A long
kind of
white
cities
hair,
of
and
Hammerhall
I'll be wearing
particularly,
furs, but
and
have
in
a
this
hairless cat.
Dawnbringers
That's
book 5, we'll
apparently
kind of see them in
that's
action
my
and what they get up
prediction
to.
for me.
Across the
As
board,
when I'm
every single
older.
one of these is a really
Right,
lovely
Alana?
miniature
Wouldn't
as
it be
well.
good?
So, kind of
I
nodding
love
a
the
little
way they
bit
did the
to
glow effect on the
the
eyes.
style we saw in things like Curse City. So if you've started a kind of collection of Age of Sigmar characters,
It was totally a Curse City expansion.
just lovely fantasy miniatures, right? That kind of exist in the mortal realms.
You
These
can't,
are
guys.
great
You can't
additions to it.
mention it. You can't call it out.
Really lovely.
There is a new novel on the way as well.
Yes.
So they already featured in a couple of novels already, and there's more on the way in Callus and Toll, where we get to see them in Hammerhall getting up to what they do best, uncovering chaos cults and general swashbuckling.
Max, I love it. Cute little Shiba next to you instead.
Should we see the next
Lovely.
reveal?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, Horus Heresy? Or are we getting more Age of Sigmar? Ah, Underworlds, of course. So technically, yes. Undead boys! What the fuck is happening there? Oh, Necromancer. I dig it. Zondra inspired. Slanesh! Ooh, my girls. Okay, but I do like the little kitty cat thing. Yeah, that guy. He's my favorite. Okay, that one might be one I get. I haven't bought any Underworld kits in a while. But this one actually looks pretty fun, and I will never say no to
So this
more
is a
zombie
really
creatures
fun premise
that I
for
can use in
Warhammer,
pretty much
'cause
literally
effectively,
every
at
other
its
game that I
heart, it
possibly
doesn't look
could
like
want
it.
to play.
Bear with me. This is a love.
I really like
story,
that,
guys.
like,
So,
bat-
Zondara is the
Dude.
necromancer wizard character.
He's got
that you
pants
can
on,
see
and
in
I
the
think that's
centre
funny.
there, and her love has been cursed.
her
in
love,
the realm
no.
of beasts. There's loads of curses going around. It's Age of
course,
Sigmar.
yeah.
Everyone, every second.
I like
is
her
cursed.
crow. She's got a big,
But
chunky
her,
crow. He's got
her
a
love
big
has been
face.
cursed
You
and
see
turned
that?
into a beast, basically. So that weird beast, wolf, monster character there.
I'm glad they also
she
don't
is
know what it
seeking,
is.
in the realm of beasts a cure for that, and she thinks that the cure can be found somewhere in the vast graveyards of the realm of beasts.
No, why would you want to cure him? He looks
using
amazing.
a mix of necromantic and
just let him be a
magic,
beast man.
She's raised a team of zombies, imbued them with extra bestial strength, and she is cracking open graves across the realm of beasts.
He is a
to
bat
try and
cat
find
monkey.
Magical cures, amulets, and things.
He's got to keep his
to,
modesty. You're right. You're right.
cure
My
her
apologies. We
lost
wouldn't
ones.
want to see his bare ass. That would be
What that gives
very
you
uncomfortable for
in
everybody.
Underworlds Warband
Imagine if he
is
had a
really
baboon
interesting
butt.
mix of models.
That'd be funny.
And also some very interesting mix of abilities and things for gaming purposes. So right at the heart of the warband, you have
my God,
a
I'm
necromancer
immature.
/ Gurish wizard, and then you've also got a powerful monster character, and that's backed up with some zombies, which they're not going to win any awards themselves, but they give you a bit of extra muscle to kind of grab objectives and things. Zombie henchmen, absolutely. And you can also kind of bolster them with
Games
with
Workshop
magic
putting
as well.
down
so
the
they're a little bit
zombies
tougher. They hit a
out
bit
there in
harder
the
maybe
world,
than your
saying that they're
basic
really not going
death
to win
zombie,
anything
because
on
these
their
are
own.
also
How
empowered with a little
dare
bit of
they?
Gurish, zeal as well. So a bit of magic, a bit of combat, a very flexible warband, a very kind of fun mechanics.
Edgar, I get you. That's been the previews for me for a while as well. Like
I can paint up.
I definitely have not spent or like
so,
bought in on
showcasing
as
as well,
nearly
one
as
the
many
things
of their
about,
kits as I
Underworlds,
did
which
when
is,
this channel first
most of the
started. I will
big
admit.
factions now,
There's just
TikTok,
so many. They just produce
kind of
so
humans and
many,
your Seraphon
and
and
they've
your Chaos,
gotten.
and we're now
I
getting
mean,
to explore some of the kind
they
of
haven't
weird
really
and
gotten
wonderful corners
that
of the
much
Mortal
more
realms with
expensive
some
when
kind
you
of left
really
field
consider
warbands that maybe you
the
didn't expect
cost
see,
to
which is
value,
handy.
especially
That
of
can
the
add some
big
exciting
box sets.
mechanics
I'm
to
not
the
going
game
to
as
talk
well,
about the
so,
smaller
it's
kits
exciting
or
across
anything
the
like
board.
that because they price those very weird. But with their big sets, they tend to give you a pretty decent year.
Let's do it.
Or deal. Horus Heresy! Woo! Imperial Guard? Oh, hello! Oh my god, that Lehman Russ is beautiful. Also the Sentinel. Holy fuck. Oh, Malkador! I didn't know Malkador had a tank named after him. Holy shit! Wait, were those veteran Storm Scions? So they are
mortal troops, the Solar Auxilia, and some all new.
They are
kits.
Imperial
big
Guard
release for this as well,
right?
Eddie.
Or
This
they
is
space
an absolutely enormous
It's
release
massive.
of plastic kits for the Horus Heresy.
I don't know.
This is
I'm
the
not
largest
familiar
release of
with
plastic
this.
kits we've seen since
Solar
the launch
Auxiliary.
of the new edition.
Let me
of
look
the Horus
them up
Heresy,
because I'm not familiar.
with all the Space Marine stuff and almost the entirety of the Solar Auxilia range that you could possibly want is released almost
Solar-
immediately as a huge wave
they are the
of
Solar
plastics.
Auxilia.
And it's very,
I don't
cool.
know
You
what
can have
that
a look at
is.
some of those on
They
screen
are
right now.
basically the
And
Imperial
let's dive
Guard of
into
the
some
Soul
of these
System.
miniatures because
Oh,
they are
so these are the-
phenomenally cool,
These
very
are the
detailed.
human defenders.
These are the
of
Terran-
Far
Far easier
I
to
see.
put together as a force and collect as a
That
force
is
than they were
fucking
previously
cool.
when they were available in resin.
And I
The team
really
has done
like them.
A great job.
And I
of,
also didn't know
updating
there
some
were.
already
I mean,
very
it
cool
makes sense that
resin
there were,
designs
but I
into
don't feel like
plastic,
I've heard
and in the
Guard
mix,
talked
they've
about
added
much
in loads of
in
options,
Horus. Like, okay,
customizability,
context.
and,
I've read
different ways
maybe
that you can put
5
these
Horus
together.
Heresy
So
novels.
We kick off with
Almost
the
all
Last
of them
Rifle
have
section.
either
These
focused
are
on the
your,
Mechanicus
basic troopers
or
for the Solar Auxilia.
Space Marines.
And the Solar Auxilia have
So I
an
actually
interesting
didn't realize that
place
the
in Horus
Imperial
Heresy
Guard had a
because,
strong presence within
against the Space
Horus
Marine,
Heresy.
they are relatively outmatched, but the Space Marines alone are not able to kind of conquer the entire galaxy.
They
so
turned
when
into the Imperial
Emperor
Guard.
set out on his
Okay.
Great Crusade, he identified
I
the fact
see.
that even
Okay, so
though
they're
he's
not
got hundreds of
called
thousands of Space
Imperial
Marines,
Guard
the galaxy
at
is
this
a very,
point.
very big place.
But
So
they
you
are
need
what
some Auxilia
become
to go with them. You need some
those
backup. So
forces.
Solar Auxilia
Understood, that makes
literally
complete
is,
sense.
Auxilia from the solar system.
They were
That's where
meant
the
to
name comes
replace
from.
Space
So they were
Marines?
attached
Really?
onto the Space Marine forces to give them extra manpower.
Interesting.
But as the
Okay,
Crusade
all
evolved,
right,
the Solar
cool.
Auxilia sort of became a byproduct
I love
for
the frickin' banner
a byword
that
for,
one
for,
boy
for
is
elite mortal
carrying.
troops.
It's so
other than the Space
just
Marines, they are seen as the
cool
most
looking.
competent troops in
I
the,
wonder if the Venator in
armies
the
of mankind.
CC1XX,
So in the
which
wider
what I don't know what
Imperial
number
army,
that
the
is,
Solar Auxilia are looked upon as
in the Roman
these are
numerals
the best
are
a
like
mortal can
painted
get
on. They
without
look
being
painted to me. I
elevated
think
to
it's
the status
freehanded.
of
I was
a
wondering if it was
post-human in some way,
sculpted.
shape, or form, usually Space Marine. They are given
they have better
best
equipment and
weapons
training. Okay,
that,
so basically,
can
like, they're
muster
special
en masse.
forces.
So there are millions of these guys out spread across the Great Crusade, and lots of regiments in the wake of the Great Crusade model themselves upon the Solar Auxilia as well. So every legion is backed up by.
Well, maybe they're getting new
hosts
rules
of
because they're
troops
getting
that
new
look
models.
like
So
these,
maybe they're
as
not
well
going to
as
suck
there being
now.
plenty of expeditionary and crusade forces that are also backed up with loads of Solar Auxilia troops. And then when the Horus turned against the Emperor, about
They
half
look
of the
really
Solar
cool.
Auxilia,
I'm
just like Space
intrigued,
Marines,
at least.
fell with him and decided to kind of back
So
his
do
claim to be the new
they
Emperor
exist
of mankind.
modernly?
So you
Like,
can
is
play
there
these either as
a
loyalist or as traitor.
guard
The last rifle
faction
section
that's
here
like,
represents your
do the
basic
Solar Auxilia
troopers. They have got
still exist
lasguns
modernly in
and bayonets.
40k?
The bayonets look
Or have
particularly
they like
ferocious. You can see
disappeared
there's
all
a
of
few
like
of those there.
Thunder
They look like they
Warriors?
would make a mess of someone.
Yeah. Be
They
careful with those.
but up against a Space Marine, you will need a lot of these guys in your force. So if
That's
you're
so cool.
looking to build an army of these,
Love
for
that they're
Horus
bringing
Heresy,
the map,
and
like,
you want to go
in.
infantry heavy.
I was
you
not
can put
expecting
all
that, 'cause I was-
four lots of
I
Solar
wonder if
Auxilia,
we'll get-
las sections
my
into
God.
your army. The rules
Could
for
we
these
get
already
Dark
exist, so
Mechanicus
you can already find
in
them
Horus
in some of
Heresy?
the
Do you
books
think
that
that's
accompanied the
possible?
release
Like, do you think
of
they could give us
the,
like
the Age
one
of
just
Darkness box set.
Mechanicus with like, because we've got knights and
But the
stuff,
key thing
right?
really
So
is
like
that
we've already
up
kind
to
of
this point
dipped our
they were
toes
available in
into
resin,
that.
which was
But like, do you think they could give us like
less
full
useful
Dark
material to work with than
Mechanicus
plastic.
and
It takes a
like?
bit longer to put your army together. It's more expensive.
Could I
These are
recreate
gonna mean that
Mechanicus?
you can reasonably build
the
entire
book?
armies of Solar Auxilia
Could I-
if you want to, which is very cool. Loads of options in there as
That'd
well.
be
I'm sure
so
you guys
cool.
are already taking a look. The Sergeant is really cool. He's got power
They have
fists and
super
plasma pistols and
Ogrins?
bull kites
What?
and,
That sounds
there's
awesome.
kind of,
I will. I'll look that up.
banners and stuff in there as well. But this is again arguably the
Okay,
least
so they're
exciting
kind of
ball
like.
that's on the
So
way.
I wonder.
There's
I wonder
loads
if
of
they
cool
hang out
upgrades
with the
and things for them as well.
custodians.
This is the tactical command section.
Great.
So you can
Look
see in the
how
mix there, you've got
cool.
Vox, you've got
Look how
kind of
cool their
company
armor
banners and
is.
things like that. You've got some power weapons, plasma pistols.
Man, the
so
31st
these are
millennium was
relatively
so
well
much
equipped
better
by human
Yeah.
standards,
than
right?
the
So like,
41st.
and it's just
In
good, right?
regards to
Because they
armor
have to go up
sometimes,
against
like,
things
gosh
Space
dang.
Marines. So you can
I
imagine,
really like
these
Horus
guys having
Heresy
to
era
hold the
stuff. I know a
line
lot
against
of
things
people
like
do. I know this is not
world eaters and
a
stuff like
new
that.
or
You're going to lose a few, but through weight of
uncommon
numbers
opinion.
and through
But, like,
grit and steel, they might just see it to the other side.
there's
of the
just
battle.
something
And there's
about
something
that
them that
era
you kind
of
wanna root for
armor
because
design
they
that
are
they decided
closer
to
to
do
human certainly than
and
the
just-
the Space Marines and things they go up against.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels more historical, and I really
there are
like
a lot
that.
of vehicles on the way
This
for
Sentinel
for these guys. So
Yeah.
this is the Ethon
is
Heavy
so
Sentinel, and you can see
beautiful
there
to
that
me.
it comes with loads of weapon options.
I
So
want
you've got
to weather
a
the
range of
fuck
different
out of it.
missiles you can put on the side.
Like,
of
I
it.
cannot tell you
You've
how
also
much
got
I
a
just
range
want to
of
like
different,
chip and weather.
main cannons you
and,
can
like,
put on there as well.
Honestly,
Loads of
I
choices,
want to use this as a
multi-lasers,
diorama
heavy
piece.
flamers,
Like, this thing looks like
melter.
it should just
There's a
be
Volkite in there as well, which is my
trudging
personal
through a
favourite. Basically,
lake
anything
or
you can
something.
put
I don't
Volkite
know.
on
I just want stepping into water and making a splash. It's just
Yeah.
so cool.
It's not technically.
Imperial
it's just my
Mandalorians. You're
favourite,
right.
'cause
They
I
are.
like to imagine the noise it makes and the mess it makes.
Dude,
the enemy
Dark
when they
Mechanicus
shoot.
would be so
And this
cool
is
to build. I
sort of a
love that.
forerunner of the Sentinel designs that you see in Warhammer 40,000. It's much more sort of industrial.
Got
looking.
it, Max. Cool. Thank you
These
for
would have
filling
been
me
mass
in.
produced in their thousands and sent out alongside.
I
the
really like it. I
Solar
like
Auxilia
the
forces,
armored spacesuit look.
allowing them
That,
some
like,
kind
to
of
me, that
close
looks
range
really
support
cool.
as
I
they
think
kind
I'm
of
also
wade off
very
into the
burned
Great
out because
Crusade.
of stuff like Starfield right
Certainly
now
not a
on
match for
NASA
something
Punk.
like a Dreadnought,
So anything that's not
but
NASA Punk, I'm like,
again,
yes.
much like the troops
give it
underneath
to me.
it,
Shove
would
it
be
into my
outnumbering
face.
things like Space Marine Dreadnoughts in a firefight. So they're hoping that your weight of number again is going to win
so
out the
cool
fight.
looking. Which
Lots
gun
of lovely
would
little
you put
touches
on
in
it?
there that are very
Yeah.
reminiscent of some of the later
like the-
Sentinel designs as well.
I like them all.
Nodding to that idea.
There's too
that
many
lots of
options.
the things that you see during the Horus Heresy.
I kind of like the
are,
Flamer, I think.
The origin of some of the things
Just
that
the
we,
look
we,
of it.
we know and are very familiar with in Warhammer 40,000.
I definitely prefer the
There are loads
multi-shot
of
thing
tanks
to the
on the
two
way. Probably the
missiles.
most common amongst them, the Dracosian transport. Unlike the rhinos of the
That
Space
says
Marines,
Dracosan?
Dracosian,
It
does a
says
few more things for you,
Dracosan.
so you could pack a
Dracos-
lot of troops into
Dracosian
this,
would have an eye in
and
it,
because,
sir.
It
That's
also has to
Dracosan.
kind of function as a mobile fire base. It does add quite a lot to your army. Loads of options in the mix there as well. So the pintle mounted, you can either have heavy flamers, you can have multi-lasers, but the main reason you bring this guy along is that big demolisher cannon on the front,
yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
nice big
I think it's
siege-breaking
also just the
demolisher
color
cannon
scheme. I will
even
admit
the odd-
that's
if your
totally
little
selling
troopers need
me
to go up against a
on
big
this
unit of Space
faction,
Marines,
but
always
the
helpful if 3 or
nice
4 of them
coppery brass color tone
plucky troops
alongside the what I actually think might be Panzer Gray. alongside that
on the
green
way.
and white.
So this is a
crisp, lovely.
Heresy era Leman Russ, very reminiscent of the
Draco-san is what they call
40,000.
Harry Potter's yaoi lover in
as well,
Japan.
if you decide you wanted to kind of port a few of these or use some of the bits into your Warhammer
Yes,
40,000
it is.
force, but the weapons and loadouts.
Yes, it is.
And,
Thank you for subscribing to the
crew
channel,
has been
the
designed specifically with
Gozrian.
the idea that this works
Welcome. I
alongside
hope you
your
have a good time.
Solar
I hope
Auxilia
I didn't
force,
butcher your name.
and
I'm
you've
sorry
got
if I did.
all of the different weapon options
Look at this
available
beautiful
to you.
Lehman
So,
Russ.
the
Look at
Lehman
the
Russ
little
strike
what are the
tank,
things on the
comes
front
with
that
the
you
Vanquisher,
like
you've got
have to
battle
roll
cannon, twin
the
auto
thing.
cannon, and twin las cannon.
Where's my
and
mouse?
a variety of different pintle mounted options as well.
What is
things like hunter
you
killer
can't see my
missiles
mouse.
and
Fuck.
heavy flames and stuff. You've
The
also
thing
got
on the
pretty
front
brutal-looking dozer
with
blade,
the
and
dozer
your
looking
kind of forward las
medulla. Is it a
cannon
dozer? Is that what it's called? I
and
love it.
Again, it looks a little bit more maybe industrial, maybe kind of mass produced. Than some of the later Lehman Russes. And again, this thing would have been rolled out in its thousands as the kind of workhorse
In the
tank
thousands.
of the
It was
Imperial
like the
Army. So,
T-34 in
whereas
World War
140,000,
II. They just start
you
spitting
certainly
them
see
out.
squadrons of these. In the time of the Horus Heresy, you would have had whole battlefields full of these tanks rolling forward.
I would
battles
prefer
like Talon
literally
and things like that, where
everything
you would
from
have had
Horus
entire
Heresy to
companies of
be
these
in
the
plastic,
hundreds
but I
rolling
understand
across
that
the
is a
kind of,
pipe dream, and for some
enormous
reason, GW
kind
is
of
just like,
apocalyptic-sized
Resin,
battlefields of,
we heard you like this shit.
of the Horus Heresy.
It's not that
We've
bad,
seen
but
some of
like I
that
just have a
in
problem with it
Legions
because I feel like it's
Imperialis,
very
of course, where you can kind
fragile.
of actually have hundreds of these in the battlefield.
And I don't
but
like
there is something
shipping
cool
it.
about having the bigger tank as well.
Because every time I've ordered
still
something
putting a
or
lot on the
had something
battlefield.
sent to me that was
And
resin,
all of that stuff we've just seen comes together in the Solar Auxilia battle
Like,
group. So this
9
is
out of
very
10
much
times
like the kind of army
legitimately
boxes,
have come
we've
damaged
seen for,
or broken in some
Age of
way,
Darkness and
I'm bitter
things like
about it.
And all comes together. If you want to kind of kick off, kickstart a Solar Auxilia battle group, you can.
Yes,
pick up
dozer
this
blades.
and it
Okay,
gives you
perfect,
a
yes.
good starting point. It's certainly not a full
Aren't they
army
for like
because, as we're
clearing
saying,
debris?
the Solar
I didn't think you
Auxilia,
actually like
you can have an
traditionally
awful lot of
use
them, right?
them
So you
to
can
mow
have
people
hundreds
down.
of
I'm
troops
not
on the
saying that
battlefield
it
if you
didn't
want. That
happen.
certainly gives you
I'm
a
just
very
saying
good
that like
starting
isn't it
point.
meant to clear
And
debris?
much like
meant to
lots
clear
of other things in the Horus Heresy, you can
debris,
ally these into your forces as well. So if
Right,
you've
that's what I
got
was
a,
thinking. Like the
Space Marine force,
barbed wire
you can
and
quite
shit put in front
reasonably
of everybody and
decide to
that
kind of
stuff,
bolt a
right?
few of these Auxilia on.
And then you
to it.
impale the soldiers.
But there is something fun about just having lots of mortal troops.
Yeah.
But that's not all. There is
No,
more.
for clearing
There's
mines,
more
too.
away from the
Nice.
Solar Auxilia. So those of you who are very familiar with the Horus Heresy rules will know that the Lehman Russ has got more options than that
More
kit.
options.
We couldn't quite pack
Even
every single weapon option
more.
onto the single frame, so there is an alternate version as well, which is the assault tank. And this one, generally speaking, is the kind of short range but more brutal version of the Lehman Russ. And the
I
main
definitely
difference
think
really
Horus
is the main
Heresy
battle
is
cannon
really standing
and some
out.
of
My
the different
one
options you get for
problem
the pintle mount.
is despite the fact that I feel like they are
Demolisher, which is
producing a
your
lot
kind
of
classic
models
close
for it,
range
I
siege
don't know
weapon.
if they're actually
You've got,
supporting the
a
game
big plasma
super
cannon,
well
and you've got a
for the
Volkite cannon in
community.
there as
I
well,
have
which is
heard
obviously- I'm gonna go with
some
sticking on
complaints
there.
from some people,
So
like
with-
just
so
on
this
social
is
media and stuff about
devastating
that, and I don't know how
short-range
true that
weapon
is because
version
I
of the
don't
Lehman
play
Russ. And
competitive
interchangeable
Horus
as well with
Heresy.
the
I haven't really
Armati, so
played
you
much
can
Horus
kind of
Heresy at
mix the kits
all,
together if you
despite
want.
really liking the models line that's coming out for it.
The Velataris
These
Storm
guys look
section is a
beautiful.
really fun addition as well. These are the
But yeah, I
elites, kind
feel
of
like-
more
I do
heavily
feel like there
armored
is
version
some, like,
of the Solar Auxilia.
complaints about
the
support
unit
that I've heard
composition you can
about
see
it.
on the screen there is fully kitted out with Volkite. So this is your kind of deflagrating
You like the
anti-infantry version.
plasma Lehman Russ?
So,
That is pretty cool, isn't it?
An awful lot of firepower coming out of that squad. So you can imagine squads of 10 and 20 of these piling out of Dracosians and kind of unleashing a huge amount of firepower into things. And you do need a lot of firepower to take down the things they have to go up against. So you probably
Hopefully
want a few of
it'll
these in the
help.
mix.
Yeah.
Worth noting about this unit, you can also kit them out with axes, which gives you a little bit of close combat punch into the mix as well. There is something endearing, I suppose, about a human that has been
I know what
given
I
a
like
big
about
heavy
them.
suit of
I
armor,
realized
and
suddenly
then
what
they're
it
looking
was that I
across the
really like
battlefield
about
at
these
these
guys.
7
Their
or 8 foot
helmets
tall
remind me a little
superhuman
bit
warriors they
of
need
deep
to go up
sea
against,
diver
and then the
helmets.
commander hands them an axe.
And they just-
and
Because
goes,
there's
"Can I have a gun?" He's
which
like, "No,
goes
you
back
get an axe.
to
Take
exactly
that.
what you guys are
It's quite a
saying
good axe, you know,
about the
it's powered
space
and all the rest of it. You can
suit
chop through stuff.
vibe. You're absolutely right,
you've
but
gotta
like it
respect
has a
that, I think,
little
in a
bit
trooper
of
if
that
they're willing to go toe-to-toe with a
1950s space
Marine
robot
and
look
only,
going on, and I really like it.
sturdy, powered axe.
They also have very
But again, a really
angular
lovely, flexible
armor.
kit. Lots of
And I
interchangeability
enjoy
between
that
some of these
too.
kits
Like there's
as
just
well, so
a there's a
things like arms
certain
and
like
heads and,
I like the
banners and stuff
lines
like that. You can
on the
swap and change
armor.
between them,
Like the
much
shapes
you
of the
can
panels,
with the
I guess.
Legion kit for the Space Marines, where you can kind of swap and change between lots of those armor marks and things.
The Malcador! I actually really like the look of this tank.
For the Solar Auxilia, the Malcador heavy tank. So this is a kind of one-up.
Okay, I feel like I know what this might be based off of. Not specifically, but it looks so familiar.
Things. But this is.
Let me look it up.
This is designed to go toe-to-toe with things like the Spartan tanks and Land Raiders and kind of slightly larger tanks. And again, you can have quite a lot of these in your force. And you can kit it out to do basically whatever your army isn't very good at. You can go, I need more anti-infantry, I need more anti-tank, I need more things that can take down monsters. Whatever is missing in your force, you can add into this with a huge variety of different weaponry. So you've got battle cannons and las cannons and demolisher cannons and heavy flamers and different sponsor options for either close range anti-infantry or longer range anti-tank support. Whatever you need, basically, the Malcador can kind of fill that gap in your army. And again, you can quite happily fit 2 or 3 of these into your force if you wanted to go kind of tank heavy.
No one is talking about this.
So loads
How
of really
dare
cool
the internet not have
and all
this
of that stuff is on its way very soon, and it looks phenomenal as well. It's a really cool army.
Looks fantastic.
Oh my god, they're just like, it's based off of Lehman Russ. No, it isn't.
Any highlights for you, Eddie?
I'm excited about it. Callus and Toll, I think, actually.
Yeah,
I like those two. I'm looking forward to it.
Doesn't it? It does have a little bit of German vibes to me. I completely agree with you. I was actually, because we were talking about the Martyr 3 earlier, which is a tank destroyer, and because it's a heavy tank, I was kind of getting, I don't know if there's other Martyrs, within the line, because I've not looked into the history, the family history, basically, of that particular line of tank, especially, what chassis it's using and all that. But I feel like it has definitely something like a vibe like that. But I'm also not super familiar with, say, Italian tanks. Or say, I'm slowly getting into French tanks, and those are really different and weird, although this does not look like a French tank to me at all. But I don't know what a lot of other varieties of tanks look like outside of maybe Russian and German and American. Those are my experience with it. I know a little bit of what Israeli tanks look like, smidge, but not that much because I've only dived into the one Merkava tank. But it really feels
times. Well, that's all we've got time for, folks. Speaking of which. Hope you enjoyed getting a bit of a peek at all of those fantastic releases. As always, a huge, great big thank you to Notley for moderating for us. Huge, great big thank you to our producer Raf for getting up at the crack of dawn with us and pushing the buttons, making it all happen. And a thank you to you, Eddie, for taking us through all those awesome releases. As always, you can catch up on all the releases that you've seen this morning, today, tonight, wherever you might be, on the Warhammer community website. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.
All right. Well, that was the show. Let's bring back up some music. Let's go to DMCA free synthwave. Bam. Let's go back. All right, we're gonna turn that the fuck down. Sorry. Also, turn that the fuck down for me too, because good lord, that was loud. All right, well, no orcs, Third Eye Spirit. I'm sorry, but they didn't supply us with any. And that's very unfortunate. It is very, very unfortunate. But perhaps next time. There is more time, of course, for additional Warhammer previews. Even later this year, I'm sure. They tend to do 4 a year at least. So I'm sure we'll see some orcs at some point. I actually thought, overall, I thought the preview was pretty good. They had quite a lot to show. They had a lot of larger box sets, which was really nice to see. I really enjoyed, I think, the Horus Heresy stuff at the end. Kill Team, I think, took it for me because I really thought the Mandrakes were cool. No, I lied. I'm sorry. It was the Kroot. I think Kroot actually stole it for me. I really am excited for Tau players. I'm not a Tau player myself. I've never played Tau. But they always have called to me because the weeb inside of me has gone they're so anime though, Angela, and you could paint all of those mechs like Gundams. It would be so cool. But I've never invested in them because I kind of hated the way Games Workshop treated them. I really didn't like the fact that they never actually represented some of the other alien factions that were part of them. So the fact that they're bringing that in delights me. I hope Games Workshop continues to do more of that. I do think we need just more Xeno within the game. I want to see more orcs. I'm totally there with you, Mercarion. and everybody else who was hoping to see orcs, Third Eye Spirit, all of you. But I definitely, yes, John, go get a nap. I absolutely agree with that. Later, hope you have a good sleep, that work is not too tough for you, that it's good. But yeah, I really think that overall it was pretty decent. Lots of good new miniatures. Yeah, I mean, I don't really, there was nothing that felt lackluster, I would say. Like, even though the Underworld set was maybe kind of small, because it was just one of their little blisters that they're doing, I at least was impressed with the models, which I have not been as recent, like, as much, especially last year. Like, I feel like in 2022 and 2023, Underworlds, I wasn't as into the kits that were coming out. And this year, I do think they're a lot better. They had no cute animal, though. They did. They had a giant Batman wolf creature thing. So never mind. They did have a cute animal. And he was adorable. You can't tell me otherwise. Edgar, I completely think you should start making dioramas. I'm actually getting into dioramas myself this year. Mostly because of my International Plastic Modeler Society club that I've joined. Because they do shows and everything. And I kind of want to submit something and give that a shot. And I even got a kit recently to help sort of practice and like try around with that. Ooh, you know, maybe I'll try. No, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I want to play Final Fantasy 14 tomorrow. But maybe I'll do that soon and start testing around with that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this live stream. I am going to go ahead and not go to bed yet, but I'm going to go chill before I go to bed because it is 10 o'clock now. I am tired. And I did a lot today, actually. I'm proud of myself. You guys should be proud of yourselves too, because I'm sure you got a lot done. If your day's just starting, I know that you're going to have a very successful day. I hope that you have plenty of time to hobby this upcoming weekend. I know that I am going to be trying to finish up my Tyranids so that I can get them done before I have my tournament at the local game castle, because that's going to be fun. I'm terrified because I have not had time to practice Combat Patrol, and it's been a while since I've played it, and so I'm nervous that I won't know what I'm doing and I'll make a fool of myself, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Anyways, my voice is going. I can feel the strain despite the water I've been drinking because I've been talking for like a solid hour and a half. But I really hope that you guys had fun. I really appreciate you hanging out with me and coming to the stream, especially for those of you that like were here either super late at night or super early in the morning. You guys rock. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Do let me know down in the comments after this is over what your favorite reveal from the LVO was, and we will probably be discussing it tomorrow because I'll check comments and everything then. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start preparing for bed and chilling and winding down for the evening. So I'll see you guys next time, which will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have, by the way, that will be pretty much the standard start time for most streams. I know we were doing 11 a.m. for a little while, but I've just found that both for me and I think for you guys, the later stream start time works a little bit better. So we're just going to keep doing that. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will probably be working on my Tyranids and or building Flames of War. I haven't decided which, but it'll probably be Tyranids because I want to get them done before I finish my Flames of War stuff. I want to do one before the other because I have this problem where I start too many projects and then I don't finish them. I just let them all sit in this mid-half finished state, and it's been driving me nuts, and it's one of the things I'm fixing this year. So I'm going to go get some rest so that I can hobby all day tomorrow, and it'll be glorious. Also play some video games, but you know, it'll be fun. Anyways, I'm rambled. I hope you guys had a good time, and good night, everybody. See ya.